Hey, Zephyrus here. Just wanted to do a little bit of an update on the resonating shield Sunder Totem Warbringer. I've moved around the movement skill, so we're now using Leap Slam with a consecrated path. I found it much more useful for repositioning. Drastically changed the defenses. You'll notice I have a ton of energy shield. This is a very common item. I've seen it several times just in solo self-found alone. One of my most limiting factors right now is actually not having jewel sockets for my ancestral warrior. The priority, I've tested a lot. I've tested a ton of things, and the thing is that you can't use the tool tab to test because we're looking for maximum hit on our ancestral warrior totem. So we're aiming for this guy. Once we summon, to hit once on broken armor, consume the armor, produce a critical hit, and disappear very quickly after. So we have like a 1-2 punch. So it's going to be the Shockwave totem for our fonts, the Sunder totem for our hit, the Leap Slam helps us position, and then Resonating Shield for the break. Basically, we're aiming for that one hit from the totem, and then we just resummon and restart. So more rage is great for that. But the first 4 gems, or I'm sorry, the first 3 gems that I would socket into Ancestral Warrior, obviously it's going to be Sunder. I think that their quality is bugged, because this is supposed to increase the accuracy at range. And for some reason, when I add quality to this and then hit Alt, there's nothing here. But the number 1 thing that we can add to Sunder is Heavy Swing for 35% more melee physical damage. I'm really trying to figure out why Brutality lowers the damage so much. But I've taken Brutality off because each time it's doing something very strange to the stats. That it even lowers the physical damage. And then the one that isn't gonna increase our tooltip damage here is super critical. So it increases the critical strike bonus. The reason why it's not increasing that tooltip damage is because critical hit chance is currently 0.04%. But when Sunder consumes armor, it guarantees a critical hit. So we don't care about critical hit chance. What we care about is the critical damage bonus. My god, I can talk. So super critical. If we just do a quick calculation here on a max hit with Sunder Totem, so you can see here our max hit, our max physical hit, let's say, it's 17,758, and then our multiplier is 4.4. So the hit would be 78,135. So that's kind of what we're aiming for with this. We want that big 1 hit. We have plenty of things that'll kill like the small little guys. On the summons, I put Maim to slow, Pulling Strike, Minion Mastery for more health, so they can be kind of like cannon fodder. Also, so my buffs remain through the one-shots. So if there's any strong monsters around, the pinning lady will be able to pin things, the warcaller will be able to give me rage, the turtle will be able to help me with block for quite a while, and the monkey will be able to charge and push people out of the way. So those are really the skill changes and everything, which is big. So we're using Leap Slam. Sorry, I didn't go over Leap Slam. Leap Slam with Holy Descent. And let me show you why. So we have life recovery. Our life recovery dips into our energy shield recovery. Just because we're getting hit a lot, the normal energy shield recovery is not going to work for this build. So basically, we go from... Come on. Okay, so if I'm moving around, I have 124 life recovery. If I stop moving, I have 151 life recovery. If I have the font, I have 230 life recovery. And then if I have consecrated ground, I almost have 400 life recovery. I wouldn't risk it to stay in the consecrated ground unless you are very confident that what is around you will not one-tap you. Right now, I'm very vulnerable to chaos damage. I am still on solo self-found. But this is quite a bit tankier than before. Because, like, right now I'm doing tier 13s, and I'm trying to push that. The other things that have changed with this build are the passive skill trees. I've made a more efficient approach towards life recovery, block, damage with block. We have another node up here that's damage with block that we're going to go around here. There is a little 5% right before this positive negative node that I have opted to take. If we happen to get over max block, I'd probably remove this. You know, I might have to play with it a little bit. I also went this way because I wanted to use this. However, it seems like it might be broken. So even though I'm using a one-handed, this did not increase my critical damage bonus. So I'm not sure. Maybe it just doesn't work with totems too. That could be. So we don't take this one. This is a more efficient critical node than this one. And then just pathing through here, because we basically go to each one of these branches, is more efficient. A big one that will help with defenses is I'm now taking Renly's training. I realize since we are consuming broken armor, we do not need to break them below 0. So really, we just need every damaging hit to break armor. This might actually be a very useful node instead of this. I was going to test it. But basically, all 4 of the nodes are going to look like this. So, sorry, let me remove this. This is what my plan is for this build. So we're going to take 20% damage conversion over to the totems. Have every damaging hit be able to break armor. And then take the base 40% block, because you can get quite a few Come on, hide it. You can get quite a few good stats on here as far as like armor and health and resistances. It can be just like a huge stat increase. Yeah, and we take an efficient break node here, efficient block node here. Only part of this that is screaming inefficiency is kind of this area over here, which I'll probably figure out something, see, like, test the values on whether or not this is worth even coming over here for, or if we just go over to this node. But that's basically my update. We are Life Energy Shield Armor with a very, very low focus on armor and a very high focus on Energy Shield and Life and Block. So that is pretty much the updates for the build. I am updating the written guide as we go. So like there's a little section where we go into here. And I'm just kind of playing around with it to figure out what's best for early access. And hopefully this is not always the case. And I'm sure I'm rambling, but hopefully we'll be able to go more of a like base armor build with some block and life recovery on block or something to that effect. I'm hoping they do fix armor, so I can kind of remove this section of the build and play it around a little bit more with like damage or stat stacking. Yeah. Oh, one other thing. I do have this in the written guide, but I found the base that we're aiming for. So we're aiming for this advanced war pick with 5+ melee skills, and that will be the best end slot for this build. I put the roles in the written guide, so if you want to check it out. Aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. Added melee skills is our first go-to, and then we're just trying to rank up that max hit with the critical strike. Obviously, if your accuracy is not 100% at your level, you want to aim for that as well. It's pretty easy to do that. If you have some dump stats, you can just dump into dexterity. If you didn't see it, dexterity, 1 point of dexterity is 5 accuracy. So this is 25 accuracy each node. It's pretty easy to get there. It's fairly easy to get on the gloves, but I'd prioritize the levels first. And then accuracy on rings is pretty easy to get to. Anyways, if you have more questions, let me know. And I will try to do a more official build guide once I know what's going to change.